Greenhouse alum, Helena Cappon. Welcome to
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I gotta say, this is a bit full circle for me because the very first big presentation I ever did in high school was right here in the DU Cable Center. So, yes. Thank you. I grew up in the north side of Denver while it was starting its transition to the Highlands neighborhood. We were a low-income family of 4, surviving off of my dad, who spent long hours in construction, building, and design. When I was 11 years old, a new place opened up down the street called Little Man Ice Cream.
Yeah.
From the 28-foot tall steel cream can to the bow ties and the soda jerk hats that the crew wore, I thought it was the coolest thing that I'd ever seen. Little Man was one of the first of its kind, a third place where people could come together and see a community do so much, or see a business do so much more for its community than sell a product. The second I turned 14, I started my 10-year professional career as an ice cream scooper. Yes, thank you. In an effort to make ends meet as tennis captain and class president, and most importantly, big sister. As the lines began to grow, I did too, all the while picking up how important it was not just to serve a scoop of ice cream, but a positive community impact. A few lessons continue to sit with me from this time in my life. No matter what you do it well. And no matter how much or how little you have, you always give what you can. While these lessons were foundational in growing my character, I knew that I needed tangible resources to navigate college. College was on the horizon, and I was terrified that I would not be able to succeed in an environment like DU, where it seemed as though those around me had affluence and education and experience that far surpassed my own. I knew that as a student from a low-income background, I needed tangible resources to navigate college. So I applied to Greenhouse Scholars. At the time, I couldn't have imagined that this program would become so much more than a college resource. Greenhouse poured an abundance of intentional support into me and my peers through consistent wellness check-ins and pairing us each with a mentor who navigated every critical step with us. I counted the days until summer symposium, waiting to be scooped up by my fellow scholars and replenish the drive and the focus that I needed to take on the incoming school year. I would not have walked across that stage, not 500 feet from where I stand right now, without this community. Even still, perhaps the most critical support that I have received has been as a Greenhouse alum, and that is what differentiates this program from any other. After college, I experienced a multitude of hardships largely brought on by the COVID pandemic. My fiance Thomas and I decided that it was time to leave Denver. We set our sights on his hometown of Walsenburg, Colorado. So if you aren't familiar, Walsenburg is down I-25 where you turn right to head out to the Sand Dunes National Park. Yeah, okay, everybody sees that. If you hit Trinidad, you went too far. Despite being on the crux of I-25 and the Highway 160, Walsenburg currently sits in the lowest income county on the I-25 corridor in the state. We knew Walsenburg needed something to happen there and that we had the passion and the energy to do it. As life would have it, the owner of Little Man, my first boss, happened to drive through our town. I knew it was time to act, and I asked him if he was interested in taking a chance with me. That is how Gub Gub's Pizza and Ice Cream was born. We purchased an old gas station property on the busiest intersection of downtown Walsenburg, and we got to work. My first call was to Greenhouse, knowing that there was no better place to learn how to broaden my impact. As it turned out, Greenhouse had a huge opportunity on the horizon for a Greenhouse alum like myself, the Young Leaders Program, which provides formal support to Greenhouse alum well beyond college. In the last 2 years of being a part of the Young Leaders Program, I have received mentorship, coaching, and funding to scale my business. I got to attend the Young Leaders Idea Enhancement sessions where I got to figure out my vision with Todd Ebert Eric Keene, Dan Hoskins, and Dwayne Nesmith to create a more well-rounded business plan, and most importantly, have the opportunity to continue asking these folks questions well beyond the session. I got the opportunity to be coached by Taylor Kirkpatrick on equipment auctions, basic financial structures, and ways to continue to seek investment. In addition to these incredible people resources, I have received $12,500 in grant funding from Greenhouse. I used the funding to replace some failing soft serve machines, making us the only soft serve ice cream shop in a 50-mile radius and offering products not otherwise available in our area. Thank you. Because of all of this, we have received 13 local awards for best restaurant in the county and more. Thank you. There are 3 million cars that pass through Walsenburg and our new location annually. I know that we are going to create a roadside attraction that's going to have locals and travelers alike talking for years to come. But Gub Gubs isn't just a restaurant. It is a catalyst for change and a communal gathering space in a rural growing area. Inspired by the greenhouse model, we built Gub Gubs to be a community resource. I have already seen our action plan take a little girl to volleyball camp, see over a quarter of our student population receive free pizza for reading, and help get our local elementary school student kids to Destination Imagination. We pay employees above the median income at $18+ an hour. We cleaned up a long-standing hazardous gas station site on our main street. We forged a strong relationship with the only food and clothing pantry in a 50-mile radius. And most importantly, we've seen a tiny startup bring tens of thousands of sales tax dollars to a community who desperately needs it. These communal efforts matter to me because I was, and still am, a low-income person with a huge dream and a great deal of gumption. And this is only the start. I have big plans to put Walsenburg back on the map, not only as a pit stop, but as a destination. I know that through Gub Gubs, I can create change and support for my community the same way the greenhouse did for me. We are so proud to say that we will be having the grand opening of our new and remodeled location in a matter of weeks. I know I can do this, but what is more is that this community has been with me every step of the way, from starting college to actually making the 2-hour drive to come and try the pizza. We need you. I need you to continue the growth of so many scholars who have come before me and after. Greenhouse scholars are the real deal, and we are committed to leveraging the resources, tools, knowledge, and donations we receive to create the biggest positive impact we can, not only for ourselves, but for the communities that we are a part of. Help us create thriving careers, businesses, and endless opportunity for more than just ourselves. Help us be the ripple that can reach the furthest corners of our world. Thank you.